Hello everyone and welcome back. Thanks for joining me again in this mini video series about role of the cloud solutions architect. In this video, we will move on to step 5 in the cloud architectural methodology, implementation and migration. But before we begin, let's take the moment to review what we covered in the previous video. In previous video, we explored step 4 of the cloud solutions architectural methodology, solution architectural design. Using Zoran Trend Retail case study, we seen how the cloud solution architect transforms business and technical requirements into a detailed, actionable blueprint by designing multi-tier Azure architectural with app services, SQL databases, Cosmos DB, and AI-driven recommendation with Azure machine learning and Databricks. We are addressed Zoran Trend's goals, the iterative process supported by an architectural proposal, stakeholder feedback, and comprehensive documentation such as requirements mapping, data flow, network design, and disaster recovery. Ensures alignment with the business objectives and technical visibility. So let's continue with this new video. Starting in February 2025, establishing Zoran Trend Retail's Azure infrastructure. Choose the East US region for deployment due to its proximity to Chicago. Zoran Trend Retail's operational hub, minimizing latency for 500,000 customers. The initial step involves deploying an Azure landing zone with a hub and spoke architecture to organize resources securely and efficiently. The hub acts as the central control point, hosting Entra ID for single sign-on, enabling secure access for 150 employees and 500,000 customers. We also configure Azure policy in the hub to enforce compliance with standards like ISO 27001 and SOC 2, mandating multi-factor authentication for administrative accounts and restricting the resource deployments to East US, West US, and North Europe to ensure GDPR-compliant data residency. Spokes are dedicated virtual networks tailored for specific workloads. The application Spoke hosts the order management app. The database Spoke manages the data layer, and the AI Spoke supports machine learning workloads. We establish VNet peering between the hub, utilizing service endpoints to optimize traffic routing and achieve intra-VNet communication latency under 5 milliseconds. Each spoke is secured with network security groups, specifying inbound and outbound rules, such as permitting HTTPS traffic on port 443 and SQL traffic on port 1433 to the application and database spokes, respectively, while enforcing a default deny all rule for all other ports to minimize attack vectors. Azure DDoS protection standard is implemented across these virtual networks to protect against distributed denial of service attacks, ensuring availability during high-traffic events. In March 2025, we initiate Phase 1 of Zoran Trend Retail's implementation, deploying core systems and migrating data to Azure. We start with the order management application, hosted on Azure Ops Services within the application spokes virtual network. We provision 10 instances in the standard S1 tier, each with 1 vCPU and 1.75 GB of RAM, configured for autoscaling. Scaling out to 20 instances when CPU usage exceeds 70% for 5 minutes, and scaling in at 30% to optimize resources. Deployment slots, production and staging facilitate zero downtime updates, with the staging slot pre-warmed with 2 instances before swapping to maintain performance consistency. To achieve 99.9% uptime, we utilize East US availability zones, distributing instances across 3 data centers for 30-second failover, preventing outages like the $250,000 Black Friday loss. Azure Application Gateway, a Layer 7 load balancer with a web application firewall, manages 700,000 dynamic requests per hour, 70% of the 1 million request target, at under 300 milliseconds latency, employing round-robin routing and session affinity to ensure consistent shopping cart experiences. We configure web application firewall rules to block Open Web Application Security Project top 10 threats, such as cross-site scripting, with a custom policy permitting trusted IP ranges for internal testing. Diagnostic logs are enabled to monitor HTTP 500 errors, facilitating rapid issue resolution. For the remaining 20%, 200,000 static asset requests per hour, such as 10 gigabytes of product images, we deploy Azure Content Delivery Network. In April 2025, we advanced to Phase 2, concentrating on modernizing Zoran Trend Retail's application, integrating AI-driven features, and optimizing infrastructure. We begin with application modernization, upgrading the order management app from .NET Framework 4.8 to .NET 6 to leverage enhanced runtime and memory management, reducing CPU usage by 20% to lower latency and improve performance during peak loads. This upgrade supports cloud-native features, such as asynchronous processing with async await patterns, enhancing throughput for high concurrency operations like checkouts. In May 2025, with the system fully implemented, we proceed to testing, validation, and compliance assurance to ensure Zoran Trend Retail's objectives are comprehensively achieved. We begin with performance testing, utilizing Azure load testing to simulate 1 million requests per hour, mirroring Black Friday's 50,000 simultaneous visitors placing orders. The application sustains latency below 300 milliseconds, with 95% of requests completing in under 250 milliseconds, and maintains 99.9% uptime, with failover to secondary availability zones in under 30 seconds during simulated outages. With the system validated, we prioritize transferring the solution to Zoran Trend Retail's IT team, planning for future scalability, and conducting a post-implementation review. The handover begins with a 2-day workshop guiding the IT team through the system's architecture, including the Azure landing zones, hub-and-spoke model, and the roles of each virtual network. We demonstrate using Azure Monitor dashboards to monitor key metrics such as application latency and uptime, and responding to alerts such as scaling out app services if request rates exceed 900,000 per hour. Now we will go through the landing zone implementation code file together. You can also use Terraform, but for this occasion I decided on Bicep because it is easy to use and you can start it directly using Azure Cloud Shell from the Azure portal. This Bicep code builds Zoran Trend's Azure landing zone, the foundation for their $20 million clothing business to move to the cloud. It supports 1 million clicks per hour, prevents $250,000 outages, and saves $15,000 monthly. Parameters like East US for Chicago's low latency and Zoran Trend Express route customize the setup. This is like pouring concrete for a new reliable online store. Ready by March 2025 for $50,000. At line 10, we create the hub virtual network Zoran Trends Control Center in East US. It manages logins for 500,000 customers and 150 employees plus governance rules. With 65,000 IPs, it's ready for growth. Subnets for ExpressRoute and a future firewall ensure secure connectivity. This is the brain keeping Zoran Trends Cloud at 99.9% uptime. Line 35 sets up the app Spoke, hosting a Zoran Trends web app for 1 million clicks per hour like Black Friday rushes. In East US for fast hub access, it has 65,000 IPs to scale to 10 instances. The app subnet runs app services, keeping responses under 300 milliseconds. This is a Zoran Trends online storefront ready for 10,000 daily visitors and 50,000 on peaks. At line 58, the database Spoke stores Zoran Trends 1 terabyte of data, 10 million sales and 500,000 profiles. In East US, for less than 300 milliseconds latency, it supports SQL or Cosmos DB with a secure subnet for GDPR compliance. With 65,000 IPs, it's ready for geo-replication. This is Zoran Trends Stockroom, keeping data safe and accessible. Line 74 builds the AI Spoke for Zoran Trends recommendations, using Databricks and Azure Machine Learning. In East US, for less than 200 milliseconds responses, it suggests 5 products per shopper. With 65,000 IPs, it handles heavy AI compute. This is Zoran Trends Personal Stylist, boosting sales with smart picks. At line 93, VNet Peering links the hub to the app Spoke, with similar links planned for database and AI spokes. This lets the hub monitor the app and route Chicago server traffic via ExpressRoute. It's like building bridges between Zoran Trends Control Center and Storefront, ensuring everything works together seamlessly. Line 120 set up ExpressRoute, a 1 gigabit per second private cable, from Zoran Trends Chicago servers to Azure. It syncs 1 terabyte of data in 3 hours, avoiding $250,000 outages, unlike the public internet's 10 to 20 hours. In East US, it costs $200 per month. This is Zoran Trends' high-speed moving truck for a smooth cloud migration by March 2025. Line 138, the ExpressRoute gateway connects the hub to the ExpressRoute circuit using the gateway subnet. The public IP at line 168 ensures external connectivity. Both in East US, they're cost-effective for Zoran Trends $50,000. This setup locks in the private link from Chicago, keeping data transfers fast and secure. Line 177 sets a $1,800 monthly cost cap, saving Zoran Trend $15,000 monthly from their old $25,000 bill. This custom policy audits spending across all resources, aligning with their $180,000 yearly goal. It's like a budget alarm, ensuring the cloud move stays affordable while supporting 1 million clicks per hour. Line 210, Azure Monitor Workspace tracks performance, storing logs for 30 days to ensure 99.9% uptime and less than 300 milliseconds responses, preventing $250,000 outages. Outputs at line 222 confirm the hub and ExpressRoute IDs after deployment. This is Zoran Trends' security camera and final checklist, keeping their site live and verified. And that was all for this session. See you in next one, optimization and governance.